Hello everyone, you're watching Pitch Battle. I'm your host Indranil. Today, of course, India playing against Canada in Florida. Uh, Pakistan are out of the tournament. That sort of excitement is not there as if, we are not feeling that punch because India also played only one big game in the league stages before they hop onto that Super 8 stage where they will take on the big teams. But this particular phase wasn't as exciting except the India Pakistan game. And now that Pakistan is out, how will it look like the tournament? We are joined by Avinash, who is the editor of My Khel. Avinash, I'm a little worried about the excitement generally a T20 World Cup would generate uh, after seeing Pakistan being knocked out of the league phase and, I mean, knocked out of the tournament. And how do you see that shaping up the entire? Because, we always had that feeling after meeting Pakistan, we want one more India Pakistan game in the knockout stages or something like that. But it's not been happening so often. You remember last year when we were playing the Asia Cup, we had that prospect of playing Pakistan on multiple times. There was so much India final in Super 4. Your thoughts on Pakistan getting knocked out and India and US, of course, qualifying? How do you see that enthusiasm part of it, of the tournament?
Certainly, it is a dampener because a team like Pakistan, the former champions, and a vitriolic side which commands a lot of respect in the cricketing corridors because quality of quality of players they have in their line. So definitely, and even the fans, we saw the crowd turnout for the India Pakistan match, and also in the subsequent Pakistan games, we saw number of people coming in good size to watch Pakistan and cheer for them. So a big team getting knocked out in the first stage will be a dampener, not just for the fans. In fact, the advertisers and the ICC will also face a little bit of this early exit of a team like Pakistan. But we can say that they are solely responsible for their fate. They didn't play good cricket in the first match against USA. They ended up on the losing side, and then the match against India, once again, they did something similar. They let the game from their hands and uh, found themselves in a catch-22 situation, and their fate hung in the balance on the result of the opponents. And USA were lucky, but they played some very good cricket. Let's not forget that. They deserve to be the Super 8 stage because of the quality of cricket they played. We saw the other day against India as well. They were fighting till the very end. And had it been a little higher total for India to chase, who knows, the outcome could have been in favor of the US team. So overall, it's good for the game. I just saw a video of Wasim Akram on ICC saying that the globalization of cricket, and it is one of the perfect examples for the globalization of cricket. So all that culminates into uh, what we can say, the popularity of the sport will, uh, I mean, it will just increase because of team like US playing with the best in the world and competing in the 8 stages. And who knows, they might even, if they do well, and we see what Kenya did in the 2003 World Cup. I mean, it's going to be one of the fairy tale finishes.
Well, we'll wait and watch for that. But as of now, what I can tell you, globalization means new players coming, but that doesn't mean that big teams would start losing. Avinash, that's not the way. Because then the basic foundation on which we are all standing will be shaken, isn't it? If big teams would start losing.
Uh, Definitely, there's some. I mean, it happens, but we see this is the format, and wherein we see even the newcomers like USA, Canada, Nepal might get a chance. The longer the format, the possibility of a stronger team ending up on the winning side. We saw just early in the morning today what happened between South Africa and Nepal. They gave a good fight to South Africa. I mean, everybody is talking
Yes.
about South Africa being one of the favorites, but the win margin for South Africa is a bare 1 run. I mean, the game could have turned any side. So uh, all this is, I think, it's a good exhibition for the sport, uh, and whether it will draw a crowd or not, it's a debatable thing. But I think it is good for the game that if a minnow is uh, stunning up, pulling off an upset and taking the to a wider audience.
I mean, of course. I mean, how many times have you seen New Zealand losing out like the way they have lost in this T20 World Cup? Uh, it's never happened. They're always in the at the last four, whatever they do throughout the year. But that is also there. That every year we have an ICC event, and this is probably just to counter the IPL, which is such a popular format and such a popular tournament in the world. It's the first Indian uh, global brand, you can say, and which has made such a big mark. But having an ICC event every year, I mean, last year we had the World Cup 50 over. Then previous to that, we had the T20 2020. Last year we also had the Test Championship. This year we have a World Cup. Next year we have a Champions Trophy. So every year we have a champion ICC event coming up. I mean, to sort of tell us who is the real champion in whichever format. But that is also, do you think it's diluting the essence of having a 4 year long wait? Which I mean, you should allow that championship title to sink in also, right? Look at the way England are struggling a little bit. So
Yes,
that is also a problem. That is also a talking point.
yes, exactly. And we see, I mean, because ICC wants to have a tournament every. I mean, it started with the concept of having a tournament every alternate year, and now we are seeing one ICC tournament being hosted uh, in a space of 7 8 months after the other. So actually, it does dilute because the feeling of being the champion side of a format is actually not sinking in within the fans and one particular team as well. Rightly mentioned about the English and the Aussie teams. Australia became the Test champions in the month of June, and they became the world champions in ODI in the month of November. Hardly any time for fans to just soak in, uh, and I mean the discourse wasn't also much talked about, and even the debates were not that. Uh, I mean that the debate of being the champion and let's enjoy and cherish the victory of a championship for a longer period of time, and then back to back when
Yeah.
every 6 months or 7 months, if it happens, definitely uh, fans would lose their interest. Euro has started, and we see what happens with football. Big tournaments happen every 4 years. We saw the FIFA World Cup happening in the 2022, and now after a major tournament is happening after a gap of 2 years at least. So definitely the fans there, the excitement is there, and they will have a lot of things to talk about. Sinking in feeling also is much better over there. There are a lot of leagues happening. The UEFA Champions League is there, and everything else is there. But it is all a franchise-based tournament, and it has nothing to do with the nationalities and the countries fighting for the coveted trophy. So I think going forward, ICC will definitely have to look on its
Because
roster because
otherwise, I'm sorry to interrupt
yeah,
you. Otherwise, it's looking like ICC is competing with IPL. It's looking like that every year.
true. Not just the IPL, I can we say there are so many leagues happening across the globe now, and at one point in time, even the fans would want to have a little bit of a breather. I mean, we just hope that there's no a saturation point doesn't come, and people would stop watching the sport and following the sport because we are playing it a lot. And overdose, yes, a lot is being talked about the overdose. In fact, we already see the debate and discourse happening across the globe whether the players are fatigued because of the IPL. They were in action for almost 2.5 months, and then back once again within a space of a week. They are again in action and playing the T20 World Cup. So there wasn't much breather for them per se. So there's I mean, people are talking a lot about all these stuff. And not just the fans, the cricketers, even the fans would want at least a breather or a reprieve of a month's time to just refresh themselves and then get back to another tournament or maybe another format. If you look
Absolutely.
at the
And
international calendar, the football, they give at least a couple of months time for the fans to just settle down.
true, true. But what we call it in economics, law of diminishing return. If you overfeed someone,
Yeah,
it'll don't kill the golden goose. I mean, that's what fans would request, because I know it's a new market. It's a new market, and this market is not new in a way that cricket is already been played by those guys who are settled there in the US. They're already playing. It's not that you're getting the 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 I mean, not the original. I mean, the guys who have been there. I mean, born and brought up in the US. I mean, if you can get those guys to play cricket, that's where the achievement will be counted, not some fringe players going from different countries like India and going and making a team, and they're playing and they're calling themselves the US cricket team. So that's something is not fitting the bill. But whatever. I mean, we have to make most of it. But I think Pakistan moving out of the tournament has really it's going to affect, because Pakistan brings in whatever that excitement India Pakistan game, that possibility happening. It could happen at some stage. That keeps the fans on the toes. And whatever you say, mother of all battles, India Pakistan, it doesn't happen that well. But ICC is also utilizing that. To their advantage by ensuring there is an India Pakistan match every year. you know,
yeah,
so what if we are not playing global, I mean, bilateral series? Globally, we're meeting somewhere.
yeah. And actually, this is a well thought strategy from the ICC. They have tried to ensure that at least once in every ICC tournament, and now that it's happening every year, they are playing. And good, bad. I mean, it's the different thought altogether. I mean, there are the purists who believe no test match would be the best uh, uh, which team is better in terms of cricket, the quality and the entire. Uh, I mean, who's superior to the against the other? But yes, and ICC is planning, and by putting India and Pakistan in the same group in every tournament, it ensures that these two teams might end up playing against each other in the semi-finals or the knockouts. So
Yeah.
and it has been giving them yielding them results. We saw what happened in the Champions Trophy 2027, 2017. They played against each other, and then they once again locked horns in the finals. So yes, it's a well thought out plan. I just hope that fans are not bored watching it, because we've seen this mocha ads. I mean, being mellowed down, and now people are not giving much heed to these kind of I mean, cliched advertisements. I think the audience is getting matured enough to not buy or subscribe to such theatrics of the broadcasters as well. And slowly, when the broadcasters will, I mean, it's directly proportional to if the broadcasters will start facing the heat, or the numbers will plummet, then definitely ICC will also have to think about, and they will re-strategize. But
And
ideally, they should
Avinash,
not
I mean, more
review.
than no, sorry, I mean, sorry to interrupt you. I mean, I've got this bad
Yeah.
habit of interrupting. Something comes to my mind, because I'm aging also. I tend to forget what I was thinking a few seconds later. I mean, you have to give it to
Okay.
me. And this bad, ill-mannered people are all over the place. I'm one of them, probably interrupting someone in the middle of a conversation. But that is also there about when we think about India-Pakistan match. I mean, of late it's been quite one-sided, and in a way, not only the way game is played, it's going in India's favor. It's 7-1 right now in T20. The only match we lost was against Pakistan 2021, where Pakistan beat us by 10 wickets. And that, I mean, our world went upside down as if we, after losing to Pakistan, more than losing the World Cup. I think the sentiments are similar in both the either side of the border, because they think that's the match, and our World Cup is over when we have won it or lost it, whatever. But Pakistan would be really disappointed, because they ultimately is not the loss against India. That was, they had to be factor. They had to take that into factor. They will lose to India, but I thought they didn't factor in that they could lose to the US. Because cricket is a very funny game.
Yeah.
In one moment you see Virat Kohli. I'm talking about Virat Kohli, coming straight to that point. Virat Kohli, last chance for him to revive some sort of form before hitting the Super 8 stages. But Virat Kohli, the way he fought with Gavaskar, the way Gavaskar fought with him, wonder Sunil Gavaskar is actually smiling in some corner in the US, seeing the way Virat Kohli is struggling at top of the order. Your thoughts on that?
Dada, it happens. We've seen the clash of ideologies, clash of eras quite often nowadays amongst players and the erstwhile players. So the active ones and the erstwhiles. But for it's very crucial for Virat Kohli to get his form back. We know he's a big player, but he will have to get some runs under his belt so that when there's a crunch match happening, I mean, there could be matches where in dire need of his experience and class and temperament in the Super 8 stages and going
Hmm.
forward with the semi-finals, because the kind of group that we are going to be placed in, I think the biggest challenge that uh, comes across India's ways is Australia, and if they managed to beat Australia, the former champions of the 2021 World Cup, then it will again be a big morale for the Indian side, and the route where semi-finals gets easier because the opponents post Australia are the ones whom if India have beaten quite convincingly in the T20 World Cup as well, and even on the international stages. So I think it's going to be important for India to maintain the a better momentum against Australia, and if they end up winning the match against Australia, then it will be easier for them to prevail over the remaining opponents in their group in Super 8 stages. And remember, last time we met Australia in a World Cup was the high octane final, high stakes final, where India just fizzled out as a batting unit. So the memories of November the 19th would be there in the minds of the Indian players when they will come out against the Aussies. But yes, and when you are playing against a big team like Australia and Virat Kohli, I mean, he's a champion player and someone who's always fed off on the energy of the opponent, especially against the Australians. He's going to, he will have to play a good role. Team India.
True. Yeah, Virat will have to play a good role, and he's a very important player for India. The fact that he's been taken in with certain purpose to fulfill. I mean, the way Virat has been playing. I mean, you have to thank the cricket god, lucky stars, that every time you score. So you be thankful, because batting is so tough. Let me tell you, one mistake, you're back in the pavilion. So as long as runs are coming, be grateful to the surrounding. Don't fight with anyone. Be calm. Be quiet. Probably Virat Kohli, that West Delhi culture is sort of rubbed him onto him so well, because that's been his foundation. And that's what Virat Kohli is made of. He can really take the fight to the opposition. He's someone you can't mess around. Aussies are scared of him when he's right there. But I can also see. I remember a long time ago. In fact, I met Steve Waugh in one of the media offices, and we were talking. And he said that how the dominance of Australia is going to go down because of too much of cricket happening in the world. And now I can see the emergence of Australia as a superpower in cricket. The way they played the 50 over World Cup, the way they play the Test cricket World Cup, they won the 21 T20 World Cup. They are really becoming a force to reckon with in world cricket once again in all formats, because we have been seeing champions in different formats, either England or a New Zealand, or T20 was Australia, England, West Indies. But now we're seeing Australia really consolidating their superior sort of, I mean, the style of cricket. Their uh, I mean, the way they have played cricket over the years, you've seen their performance in across three World Cups from '99 onwards to 2007. That phase I'm talking about, the Australian, where they all conquering. The only time they struggled was coming home, coming to India and playing and struggling against the Indian team in test match series. Otherwise, Australians, I mean, really a dominant force. I mean, two teams we can easily count in the 80s, 70s was the West Indies, and now we can see the Australians and coming back, clawing back to that all format supremacy. Are your thoughts on that?
Well, a lot is being talked about Indian domestic circuit, Dada. I mean, we've seen people getting fascinated by the Indian domestic circuit ever since uh, Dravid became the NCA head, and we saw a lot of exchange of ideas, coaches from different parts of the world coming to India, learning. Also, post emergence of IPL, the success story of IPL sort of just propelled Indian domestic circuit and the richness of Indian domestic cricket as well.
So it's come down to this, that India taking on Canada, the last match of the league phase, and are we expecting some changes in the playing 11? Probably Kuldeep could come in and sort of get some sort of match practice, because he will come into action in the West Indies where the wickets are going to be same. Only difference is the spinners will get some assistance there, like the Pacers are getting in America. So how is it going to be looking, the Indian playing 11? Probably in place of Shiraj, you never know. But what happens is, generally we've seen time and again, when we playing a World Cup game, we don't make those chopping changes. This is a great thing about Team India, and hopefully they'll continue to rule the roost and keep winning, and don't press that panic button. And that's important. For more such videos, keep liking our channel, One India, and of course, Pitch Battle is turning out to be quite a show for us, and we're getting really excited every day, presenting all the thoughts about cricket and the cricketers. Keep watching Pitch Battle and stay happy, stay fine. Thank you for watching.